Good morning friends, welcome to economic classes. In the last class we are discussing about the demand and the determinants of demand. With continuation to that demand itself, today we are continuing with some of other concepts here. So today in this class we are going to discuss about demand function and demand equation. So let us come to this one now, demand equation, or before to that demand function. Today we go through with the demand function. Demand function. So what is this demand function? So demand function is the functional relationship between one side quantity demand, other side determinants of demand. In the last class we already discussed clearly about the determinants of demand, right? So here we are just going to see in the demand function the quantitative or the functional relationship between demand and determinants of demand. So what are the determinants of demand that we have here? Yes, we have determinants of demand here that can be written in this demand equation, demand function formula, that is QD is equals to F of P, PR, Y and T. That is what the demand function can be represented by this equation here. That is how we are going to say QD is equals to F of P, PR, Y and T, which means here QD means what here? QD means it is the quantity demand. QD means quantity demand. Whereas F is the functional relationship. F is functional relationship. Functional relationship. Whereas P is what? Is the price. In short form we are going to write P as a price. That is P. And the next one PR. It is another determinants of demand. What is that? Price of the related product. That is how? Price of the related product. Related product. This is third one. And coming to the, second one. Third one is what? Y. Y is what? It's income of a consumer. Y is income of a consumer. And then T is the taste and preference. Taste and preference. QD is the quantity demand, which means this is QD is equals to quantity demand. F is the functional relationship. P is the price. PR is the price of the related product. Y is the income of a consumer. And T is the taste and preference of the consumer here. Okay. So these all different determinants here that we are going to understand in the demand function. Look at this now. On one side it's a quantity demand. On the other side, these are the determinants of demand here. Whereas middle we have the F, which means functional relationship. This builds the relationship between quantity demand and the determinants of demand. If there is a change in any of these determinants, lead to change in quantity demand. That is how change in any of this, the delta, what we are going to say, change in determinants. Change in determinants leads to change in quantity demand. If there is any change in the determinants of demand, that makes the quantity demand to change. That in detail we have studied in the last class. So here quantity, that is a demand function which represents the functional relationship between demand and determinants of demand. So let us study this by the equation here, that how we apply the equation and then how we take into consideration. Just go through with the equation. Demand equation. After the completion of demand function, so let us go for demand equation now. Demand equation. So this is demand equation now. So we are going to write the demand equation like this. That is how here QD is equals to demand equation. That is how QD is equals to A minus BP. QD is equals to A minus BP. QD is, again as we know, it's a quantity demand, and whereas A is constant, or this is also called as maximum quantity purchased, at the price is equals to 0. How much of a commodity that a consumer can purchase when the price equals to 0, that will be represented by A, which means constant or the maximum quantity purchased by a consumer when the price equals to 0. Well, so this is A. And coming to B, that is minus B, which called as slope or coefficient. Slope or coefficient. Slope, which means what is the ratio of change in the determinants and the quantity demand. That is what we are going to mention through minus B. This minus, which indicates there is an inverse relationship in the determinants and the quantity demand. That's what we already know. In case change in the determinants which affects to change in the quantity demand in a different way, that we are going to see. That is the slope, the ratio of change in between quantity demand and the determinants of demand. This is minus B. And coming to the P, that is what? P is the price. By applying this demand equation, we are going to calculate different quantities, that how we can purchase or how a consumer purchases within the different quantity with the different price levels here. So in some of the exams, again coming to this, some of the exams they are going to ask on this equation only, what are the independent variable, dependent variable, coefficient, and also sum of constant. That what we already understood. That is how they are going to ask here. So in this equation, if I represent here, that is how in the equation QD is equals to quantity demand. It is the dependent variable on this other part of the equation here. Why? Because if anything that is going to change in the determinants, then only there is a change in the demand. Otherwise, that is not going to influence. So quantity demand, which is influenced by the determinant. So for that reason, this is going to called as dependent variable. Dependent variable. Dependent variable. This is going to called as dependent variable. QD is called as dependent variable, whereas A is the constant. Constant, or as I already told you, maximum quantity purchased when price equals to 0. This is what? Constant. And minus B is the slope. Slope, or as I already said, coefficient. Then coming to the P is price, which is one of the determinants of demand, which is influencing on the quantity demand. So this is the independent variable. This is independent variable. Well, see, look at this now. So in the equation, quantity demand, which is called as dependent variable, A is constant, minus B slope or coefficient, whereas P is the independent variable. So some of the questions asked in KSET and also NET exams and some of the competitive exams on this equation, and most probably the question may arise on these 4 options only. They may ask you quantity demand is dash. In that they give 4 options. It is dependent variable, constant, slope, and independent variable. You have to select the accurate answer, and that is what the answer here, dependent variable. QD is the quantity demand, and where it is called as dependent variable, which is going to influence by the influencing factors or determinants. Okay, this is the demand equation. So let us take some example and calculate this quantity demand now. So assume that we have been given a demand equation here. One example, QD is equals to 20 minus 2P. This is the equation given to us. So in this point of T, we have been given the price when the price is equals to rupees 3. One example here. So if the price is rupees 3, then what is the quantity demand we have to find here? What is the level of quantity that the price equals to 3? So if we simplify this, if we go for the solution here, look at this that solution how we get here. QD, I am going to write the same here equation. QD is equals to 20 minus 2P. So if the P is going to substitute it by the price, that is rupees 3, let us look at this now. 20 is as it is, minus 2 is as it is. In the place of P, we have to replace, that is 3. So 2 into 3. Now in this, 20 will be as it is, 2 into 3, 2 3s are 6, then the quantity demand, it remains 14. 20 minus 6, it comes 14, and this is what it is, quantity demand. So if the price is 3 rupees, a consumer can purchase 14 kgs of commodities. So quantity demand, that may be in kgs or it may be in liter, maybe in meter, whatever it may be. But here we have taken an example that if the price is 3 rupees, in this equation if we substitute the price, then what is the quantity that we are going to get here? That is 14 kgs. Taken another example here with the same equation. If the price is rupees 0, P has been given, it equals to 0. Now when price is to 0, as we already understood in the equation, this is what? A which means maximum quantity that a consumer purchases when price equal to 0. So let us see how much quantity that he is going to purchase when price equal to 0. So now what we do here, again we go for the simplification, that is again the solution. In this solution what we do, we'll write here QD as it is equal to 20 minus 2, and this P again it is going to substitute by this 0, so 2 into 0. So coming to this now, 20 as it is minus 2 into 0. Anything multiplied with 0 or 0 multiplied with any numbers, that is comes 0 only, right? So now what is this? 20 minus 0 is 20 only. Then the quantity demand that a consumer purchases at the maximum. You look at this now. When the price is 0, how much maximum quantity that a consumer can purchase here? 20 kgs. Earlier in the last case when price equal to 3, you used to purchase 14 kgs, but now you can purchase 20 kgs. This means at the most he can carry. This is what we can say that when price equal to 0, at the most or maximum quantity that he can buy is 20 kgs. Hope you clear? That is what? When price is 0, the maximum quantity that a consumer can purchase is 20 kgs. So let us take one more with the same equation here. That is what we have taken. Price equal to 0. Now we just take if the quantity demand itself is 0. Now at what price that the consumer purchases 0 quantity, or he does not purchase any commodity if the price is maximum. You see, if the quantity demand equals to 0, which means the price is almost maximum. Beyond to that he doesn't want to purchase any commodity more. So if this is the case, how it is going to be? Look at the solution now again. So solution in this point of view. So QD, the price, I just write once here. QD is equals to 20 minus 2P. This is the equation given to us. Well, so now you substitute this QD by 0. 0 is equals to 20 minus 2P. Now what it means here, we have to find what is the maximum price so that the quantity equals to 0. So now if we simplify this, I just write this as it is here. So what I am going to write, this minus 2P, I will take the left side of the equal sign. As anything that which comes left side to the equal sign, that sign is going to reverse here. So minus 2P, if it comes to the left side to equal sign, that is how it is going to be, plus 2P minus this will be as it is, that how it will be 0 or plus 0 is equals to 20. 2P plus 0, this 0 will be remains as it is here. Now we are not going to change anything else, that we just shifted this minus 2P to the left side of the equal sign. As we know that if it comes to the left side of the equal sign, that it changes the equation. As it is minus here, if it comes to the left side, then it becomes plus. So plus 2P plus 0 is equals to 20 now. So if we add these two, what do you get? 2P plus 0, 0 means nothing, means 2P itself is the thing in this left side. 2P is equals to 20. What do we want here? We want the price. What is the maximum price you need? So I actually have to calculate price. So P is equals to, this 20 remains in the same, and this comes to in the denominator. Okay. So in denominator we'll take 2, 2 1 jar, 2, 10 jar, 20. Then the answer will be is rupees 10 here. So if the price is rupees 10, a consumer cannot purchase enough the commodity, which means his quantity demand remains 0. The maximum price is 10 rupees, so that he purchases 0 quantity. And in the last 3 cases we have seen here, the first case when rupees is 3, when P is equals to 3 rupees, when price equals to 3 rupees, that time he used to purchase 14 kgs of something. Whereas second case, when P equals to 0, at the maximum that he can purchase the quantity is 20 kgs. And the third case that we have seen here, QD, when it is 0, which means the maximum price is rupees 10. Right? So when price is 3, 14 kgs that he can purchase. When price becomes 0, maximum quantity that he can purchase or he can carry, that is 20 kgs. And when come to the QD equal to 0, which means he doesn't purchase any commodity, and that is only when the price equals to rupees 20. Like this you can calculate so many of the problems by applying the equation and going through with a simple way, right? So in this class we just discussed about the demand function and the demand equation and some of the problems. In the next class we just discuss about the demand, law of the demand. In the next class what we are going to discuss? We are going to discuss about law of demand, where very important for the exam point as well as interesting topic. So until that, stay cute.